Hello Bookbellas and fellas, Kira here, and I am going to discuss with you guys what I want to get to in the month of December. The month of December kind of feels like very final because this is the last month of the year. And so not only am I looking to read other things, I am also looking to make sure that I get all my numbers wrapped up for you guys and everything. So I actually gave myself a lot of graphic novels and a few short books to read so that I would have some time to do that. Hopefully that will also lead to a lot of flexibility so that if I decide that there is something else that I want to read besides these books that I'm currently interested in reading for the month of December, that I will be able to do that. So let's just go ahead and get into it. So the first book that I hope to get to is the classic The Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. This is the Puffin Chalk edition, and I have been wanting to read this for quite some time. I think this will be such a great atmospheric Christmas book to read. And it's, of course, the classic Mr. Scrooge and, the three ghosts of Christmas, Christmas past, Christmas present, and Christmas future. I remember growing up watching and loving the Muppets Christmas Carol and the Mickey's Christmas Carol. And so I kind of wanted to go back to the roots and find out what I thought about this book itself. The next books that I would like to get to are these mangas. It's orange, and these from what I know about them, are about these kids that are actually getting letters from their future selves. And it's kind of like almost like a fantasy kind of contemporary. But I don't think these ones will take me very long to get through at all. I heard about them and it seems like they are very popular. So I'm really hoping that I enjoy these. I do love having graphic novels to read because they are something easy. The holiday season is so busy trying to get everything in order for the holidays and all the family get-togethers and everything, and so I just kind of want to keep it simple this month, and so I figured these books would definitely do that for me. Now, the next book that I am currently in the middle of is Grave Mercy by Robin Lefevre. Probably neither pronunciation was accurate on that, but okay, so this is set in the 1400s about assassin nuns. I am almost halfway through it. I am about 1/3 of the way through it right now, and it's interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. It's not as groundbreaking as it was hyped up to be so far, and I'm hoping that'll change by the time I get halfway through. Sometimes it takes me reading a book almost to the halfway point before it really, really, really starts to hook me. So I'm still gonna give this some breathing room. The idea of assassin nuns back in the 1400s, this has a lot of conspiracies regarding it. This has a lot of, risks. I kind of feel that there's some some romance going on in it. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. But it seems really interesting. I just don't feel like the characters so far are as three-dimensional as I would want them to be. But we'll see how I feel about this the rest of the way through. The next book I'm wanting to read is Dear Adjule, or A Feminist Manifesto in 15 Suggestions by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Oh, I probably botched that up really bad, guys. I am so sorry. But this is a very short little book. It's very tiny. I've heard about this. I've been hearing a lot about this. And, it's got French flaps. I didn't know this had French flaps. So, this looks like it's going to be very interesting. I've read a lot of books that could be considered feminist books, but I honestly don't know as much as I would like to about the feminism itself. And I felt like maybe this would be a very good introduction to the feminist genre, just because I'm a little bit interested in digging just a tad bit deeper to know exactly what the feminist genre that a lot of literature portrays is all about. And I know that there's a lot more complex literature regarding this, but I'm hoping, because this is very short, it would be very straight to the point so that I can go ahead and start having some feminist ideas to digest rather than the stuff that kind of bats around the idea of feminism, like that book Damsel that I just read, and even The Empress of All Seasons that I just read was very kind of batting around feminism itself. So we'll see how I like this. So I am kind of well, I'm not kind of, but Stan Lee, of course, died this month. I'm going to miss all the cameos that he made in all the movies, and I mean, he has done so much for the outcast because he's created these characters that are themselves outliers of society, outcasts, and he's turned them into superheroes. And it was like we had, like, I mean, because I feel like an outcast just a lot of the time. I feel very socially awkward, and I just feel like that these characters were like people like Iron Man and Spider-Man, who never really fit in high school because like they were the nerd, or you know, like because they were really smart like Tony Stark, or you know, like just they were just outliers of their generation. And I never got a chance to say like a few words about him, but I was so upset. So when I found this on Book Outlet, The Amazing, Fantastic, Incredible, A Marvelous Memoir by Stan Lee, I was floored. This actually is a comic book that he wrote with some comic book artists about his life. And what better way to sum up his life than to put it in comic book form? I mean, that is so amazing, and I'm genuinely excited to get to this because I want to know more about his life and how he lived. I think it's going to be amazing. But yeah, I was very upset about this because I felt like Stan Lee really created this atmosphere like where even anybody could be acceptable, you know, like, and phenomenal, and it's okay to be, you know, like an outlier or not feel like quite like you fit in, because you can be a superhero, and those are the superheroes, the people like that don't fit in, the people that are fighting constantly for the greater good. And I feel like that was also like such a metaphor, but I'm going to stop gushing about all of that. I'm going to stop. I have to stop trying. I have to try to stop being upset about the whole Stan Lee thing, which is really difficult because I'm going to miss, I never met him. I never knew him personally, but I went to a lot of conventions where he was at. And I just remember, like, you know, the atmosphere, like, was like this atmosphere, oh, Stan Lee's downstairs, or, you know, like, or, oh, I got to go meet Stan Lee, or I got my picture taken with him. And I mean, I saw like all these pictures, like with people like next to Stan Lee, and it's like, I just don't feel like these conventions are going to be the same without him. And so I wanted to say a few things, but this, of course, you know, like, I'm completely off topic once again. I was actually thinking about making a video of this, but I never got a chance to, so I kind of just fitting it in now. So on to the last book that I hope to get to for this month. So this has been a long time coming, and I really hope that I make it to this series this month because I have been wanting to read it for quite some time, and everybody's been telling me to read it, and I'm probably going to be really upset that I waited so long, but it's Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I have to get to this. I read 3 books by him last month, and they were all 5 out of 5 stars. And if this is pretty much his best work, I'm probably going to be going through this terrible, upsetting reading slump after I'm done, because there's something about reading a Brandon Sanderson book that makes me not want to read anything else. So what do I do next? From last month, I get into kind of a reading slump because of reading his Snapshot book, and then I move on to another Brandon Sanderson book. What am I going to do when I run out of Brandon Sanderson? I don't know, but we'll find out. I'll have to figure it out somehow. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Those are the books that I hope to be reading in the month of December. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, hit the little like, hit subscribe, and then hit the little bell icon if you want to receive an email every time I post. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all again very soon.